There you have it, everyone. Governor Sisolak outlining phase one of his roadmap to recovery plan in terms of reopening the state of Nevada in phases slowly. But he actually outlined quite a few businesses that will be allowed to reopen. First, let's run through some of the precautions he's saying we should all still implement in our daily lives, because he says, obviously, if you drop your guard, that's when we're going to get into some trouble. He says restaurants will be allowed to open for dine-in with face coverings. All employees must wear face coverings. And these restaurants can only operate at 50% capacity at this point. Tables must be 6 feet apart. Reservations must be mandatory. He says if you're waiting for a seat outside, stay outside. You won't be allowed to hang out at a bar or the lobby. Bar services will stay closed. So keep that in mind for these restaurants that can now operate. However, he does say that takeout is still preferred. All right, moving on to other salons and nail salons. This is for barbers, hair salons, petitions or social distancing, maybe some walls in between each chair, strongly encouraged. If these salons do not have that, he says that clients should sit every other booth to maintain that social distancing. Services must be provided through appointment only. I spoke with the owner of a salon today, and he said that people will literally pull into the parking lot and text when they're ready to come inside. So that's how they will be operating to maintain social distancing. Staff must wear face coverings, and they're encouraging clients to do the very same, because obviously with things like nails and hair, you're in pretty close proximity to the person who is serving you. All retail stores must operate at 50% capacity as well. This includes big box stores. This includes grocery stores. Employees who interact with the public must wear face masks. Interesting question during this press conference. Why are patrons not required to wear face masks? He cited some violence in the Midwest we've covered in the last couple weeks, and he says he doesn't want to see that. He hopes that people will be vigilant on their own, and anyone who is outside of their home will wear face masks. Again, strongly encouraged anytime you're in public. Moving on to cannabis dispensaries, he again says curbside operations is ideal, but these dispensaries can look further into the next phase of their operation by submitting a plan for in-store precautions. So he's working with the powers that be to implement all that as well. Okay, these are the businesses that are not allowed right now in phase one. Bars, nightclubs, taverns that don't serve food, entertainment and recreation. So we're talking about movie theaters. He did say drive-ins are okay, and we do have one of those in our area, but movie theaters are on halt still. Bowling alleys as well, gyms, spas, tanning salons, tattoo parlors. He mentioned piercings and gaming establishments. Those are not included in this phase. It's important to note that he said, with any of these phases, he's really going to have to wait a minute, wait 2 or 3 weeks to see what happens in terms of whether or not there's an uptick in cases or hospitalization. So we could be sitting in phase one for about 3 weeks or so. He's going to sign the directive today, and he said that it'll expire May 30th. We'll hear from him sooner than that. Again, just some more precautions for you. No gatherings of 10 or more people. Social distancing continues. He says if you don't have to leave your house, please don't, because it's working. Vulnerable populations encouraged to stay home as well. And he said, if you are one of these employees who are going to work now, you really have to think long and hard about what you're going to do when you come home, because you don't want to bring anything home with you. If that means changing as soon as you get home or sleeping in a different room. I mean, that might be extreme, but you really have to remember, he says, that this virus is still out there, regardless of if we're in phase 1, 2, or 3. Face coverings, again, are encouraged in public. So he said again, the coronavirus is not going away until there's a vaccine. We don't see that in the imminent future, obviously, just yet. There are varying reports, a lot of clinical trials going on. But he says our strongest weapon right now in terms of fighting this disease is still social distancing, being vigilant, making smart decisions. He says as soon as you drop your guard, that's when this virus can slap you in the face. So he exercised a lot of caution when outlining phase one. And he says that he hopes that the numbers will continue to see this downward trajectory, but only time will tell. Again, we are in phase 1 on Saturday, May 9th, and it'll run until May 30th at the minimum. We'll keep you posted. All right, we want